Hello again, friends. This is Ron with Mobile Fix Automotive, and I'm going to do a quick little video on the 5.4 Triton intake manifold replacement, and it's going to be the difference between the Ford OEM versus the Dorman kit. This is the Dorman kit number. It is part number 615188. Once again, 615188. Okay, so the vehicle I'm working on right now, for those of you that are going to ask, it's a 2002 E150 or 250. It's not marked on the door, but it's a half-ton E-Series Ford van. It's got a 5.4 Triton V8 in it, and it came in from, he found me on YouTube from my video on the coolant leak for the manifold. And this is basically what he was seeing. Big old huge leak. Okay, so I'm trying to make this video short for you. So this is the crossover tube that you can only get to by unbolting it from the bottom. So you have to pull the manifold off anyway. Once the manifold was off, this is what we found. The dam, the inner dam or the inner shelf is completely broken for almost 2 inches across. The gasket was split and completely blown out, and it was, you can obviously see from the color of the rust water, it was just puke and water. But what this video is for is to show you the pros and cons between buying and replacing the manifold with the Ford manifold versus the Dorman manifold. Now I'm going to kind of pick on Dorman for a couple of things. The first one I'm going to pick on them for is the fuel injection rail, which is this piece right here, is held onto the manifold with a total of 4 bolts. There's 2 on each side, 10mm head bolts. They have you replace it with a self-tapping bolt. I like to call these kamikaze bolts. And the reason why you don't see one in this hole is because if you zoom in, you'll notice there is no hole. There's an imprint in the plastic, but the actual self-tapping bolt won't go in because the hole never got drilled. So this is some pretty bad quality control right here that got dropped. Not everybody is going to have the right size drill bit and a drill to be able to fix this when they're on the side of the road. The other thing is these bolts themselves. They are going to have you do this for both all 8 coil packs, the self-tapping screws, instead of what Ford does, which is a regular threaded bolt with a brass style press-in insert, so you have nice metal threads, and as long as they don't get cross-threaded and stuck, they're actually pretty good. The reason I don't like the self-tapping screws, which is this one right here for the coil packs, there's going to be 8 of them, 4 on each side. The reason I don't like these is because if you get a mechanic that's going to go change the spark plugs on this later on, and he uses a really powerful air tool to get these in and out, if he over tightens them, he can split the manifold. He can strip the threads out, and once that's done, there's, you know, you can maybe go one size bigger on the bolt, and then you're right back to having to change the manifold again. So I'm not a big fan of that. As far as things that I do like about the manifold, it came with a kit that has a new thermostat and all the new bolts. It comes with the gaskets already impregnated into the plastic because it no longer uses a regular gasket. It's part of the manifold now. So all of the seals are pretty much included, as well as the adapter pipe. There's like a little elbow that you see in the photograph when you order this. This is what it is. It's because on the factory manifold, the PCV valve used to come up around here and plug into this port right here, which went all the way to here. Well, now what they've done is, I'll turn this around so that it's apples and apples and not the other way around. Instead of running the pipe from the back of the manifold all the way back, they just used and tapped right down in here. So it's the same thing. The hose will just fit on there and we'll be good. So my personal opinion on the Dorman, I would rather use the Ford any day of the week. Their quality control on a couple of the items that I've been posting has been questionable. Some of their stuff is really, really good, but you won't know if it's good until you use it, until you get it. So the Ford stuff, I don't usually have problems like that with, and it's more expensive, and that's the reason why people choose to go with the aftermarket. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing real quick, and then I'll end the video. There is this piece right here, which is like a sound deadening heat shield that goes basically underneath the manifold. So it's inside the intake valley. When you go to pull the manifold off, that's underneath it. It's supposed to have some really soft, it's basically like a little blanket in there, and I believe that's to keep heat off of the bottom of the manifold and to kind of keep sound down. But I think mainly it's there for the heat purposes, so that the manifold stays cool and doesn't suck a lot of heat off the engine. You're not going to be using that on the Dorman. It tells you not to put it back on, and there's no place for it to snap onto even if you do use it. So you would have to just let it flop around inside the valley. So there's really, if they tell you not to use it, then you know it's in the instructions, don't put it back on. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm just going to say that for those of you that are going to contact me with questions, make sure it pertains to this video. I've been getting a lot of people asking me to troubleshoot vehicles that have really weird problems that don't even have anything to do with the video that I'm shooting for. So be respectful, and if you have questions pertaining to this particular video, I'll be happy to try to call you back as quick as I can if I haven't already answered the phone for you. So this is Ron, Mobile Fix Automotive, and happy trails. We'll see you on the next video. Click on like, click on subscribe. It's going to help me get bigger and bigger, hopefully. So I'm going to shoot a lot more of these. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.